Hey everyone, James from Merchant Spring here for another episode of Marketplace Masters, where we bring you insights from industry leaders around the world. Matt, thank you very much for joining me from Cornwall. Let's get stuck into it. So why don't you tell us a bit about what you do in e-commerce and how you differ from other sellers?
Okay, so obviously I've known you well now, James, and I've been working with you on Merchant Spring, and I appreciate you, doing this sort of interview with me. And basically, I mean, I'm more about e-commerce than just indirectionally on Amazon, eBay, or Etsy. And what we've been doing for the last 10 to 12 years on and off is trying to build a system that would work across the board on all of these platforms. And yeah, it's worked. I mean, we work in the personalized, customized sector, and the reason I came to you guys, obviously, it was a referral from somebody, and I could see how Merchant Spring services would tie in with what we do, in that we've got different marketplaces, not specifically just one funnel or channel. So yeah, that's why your platform with all the data and all the different functionalities helped us, because I know that there's not many platforms out there that have, like, I think, is it 50 channels or something you got coming in?
About 100 actually.
100. Yeah, I'm sure it was 50. I'm sure you've doubled that in the last couple of months. That's insane. That's amazing. And I don't know for me personally, I don't know any other company in the world that looks at e-commerce with such a broad scope as you. So going back to it, what I'm trying to say is that from our point of view, we have over 200,000 ASINs, which isn't, it's a bit of a beast to manage. I know people have got more, but a lot of people don't have that many. And so with your streamlined data, analytical data coming in, it helps us to look at that in a more logical and simplified way. So comparatives from all these markets. So yeah, from my background, so we obviously have a bit of a beast with GS1 with the amount of ASINs that we have, and that, anything that can streamline that. We've got different companies that we use for a multitude of various functionalities, but obviously with you guys, that's why we came in and that's the wrong word, came in and utilized the platform that you've got, because it just simplifies everything. And I don't honestly know, hand on heart, any other company that's doing what you're doing on such a massive scale. It's admirable, and I really appreciate you allowing me to work with you guys as well in the last few months on different beta versions. I know e-commerce is a new thing, so yeah, that's kind of it, really. It's just and then obviously the brands have gone off, and I want to just mention quickly, we started Pinformative and we're working with Pinterest. I have to drop that in if that's okay. And yeah, it's a big time for e-commerce. I think it's an interesting time, and I think that with what we've got, it allows us to diversify into other areas as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it, really.
Interesting. So brings me to my next point, Matt. So what is your view on multi-channel selling? Like, how important is it to be on multiple channels, beyond the usual? Because I think you and I both know some people are like, got to be hyper focused on Amazon. Some people say, nah, I'm just going to focus on what's good domestically. But I think you're all people, diversify your channels. What's your view on multi-channel selling?
I think it wasn't so much, not of an issue, but of a big thing in the past. I think that specifically in the last 18 months, especially with the catalyst known as the pandemic, I think that's pushed things to the forefront. People have diversified, going on to obviously Snapchat, TikTok, all these different other SM platforms, which I know isn't marketplaces, but this is why Amazon aren't, they're not stupid. They understand that whole 10% affiliation fee that's coming in the US and all that kind of stuff. I think that they understand that there is another market on the rise, and it's not one specific market, it's just a different way of looking at things. So yeah, I think that at the moment, more than ever, I think it's important that you do look at multi-channel selling, because I think that it's something that you can't ignore. I mean, I'm going to be doing a debate soon with my sister. She's got 153,000 followers on TikTok. It's a Pinterest versus TikTok debate, which will be probably an argument in the end, but we'll both get something valuable out of it. But that's what I'm trying to say, is that she started off doing, just funny things, memes, etc. And I was like, oh, TikTok. Suddenly, you've got a huge audience there. The only thing is that my concern is that some new sellers, some new people coming into this multi-channel game, they're using it to catapult themselves, but there's no streamline with that. There's no there's no regularity or consistency in the way that they're scaling. So there is a problem with that, because suddenly, you end up with some guy in the garage who's decided to do something, and then you get a shout out from a huge influencer, and you're like, oh my God, I can't do this. And your name goes, and boom, you're gone. So there's all these different factors to include with this, but I think there's a real possibility of people being able to start up in one way, but diversify traffic in another. That's why personally I've gone into Pinterest in a way there's free traffic, but what people need to understand is I'm not saying don't use Amazon or eBay or Etsy or whatever marketplace. I'm saying, why wouldn't you want that traffic if it can divert? Why wouldn't you want traffic from anywhere if it can convert into a sale and it's free? It's just people, I think what it is, people, go, oh, I don't want to waste my time on doing 20 pins, or I don't want to waste my time having an account, because A, it's misunderstood, B, it is their time when they're making the money. But that's the trap, isn't it? I mean, you're trapped in making all this money and having all this revenue, but you're missing the game that's on the sideline, which is a big game happening. So I think, I think the overall answer is saying that in the past, I think multi-channel selling wasn't as big because the tools like yourselves wasn't as readily available. But now things are becoming open and people are seeing that. And I think that a lot of these agencies that look at things from an outside point of view, it's all going to catch on. You'll have one agency going, well, we're not just doing Amazon, we're doing everything because we streamlined it. Suddenly the other agency looks at them and goes, oh my God, they're getting all that traffic. How are they doing that? Oh, okay, we need to do that. So we're at the point, I think, at the moment, which is pre that section that's happening with all these agencies. I think we're at the beginning of this big movement. That's why I'm trying to say. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. This is why you guys are doing what you're doing, and I think there's more people getting into this multi-channel platform selling. So yeah, I think it's really important at the moment. Seriously, I think it really is. I really do.
Yeah. So I guess just on that, you're talking about trade-offs and time of investing into, different channels and the like, but where do you see, marketplace selling evolving to in the next 12 months? Like, you've just said that multi-channel is important. Like, do you see multi-channel becoming more, as an example, more kind of sophisticated and more of a priority, or, where do you see marketplace selling evolving to? In your opinion?
That's a good word you use, sophisticated, because I think that obviously with anything new, it takes time for any sophistication to come into a market, and that's where things evolve quicker, obviously, in a lifespan and time scale of things. So I've already anticipated that you're probably going to have a few billion more people in Pinterest when I've looked at that platform. So that's just one platform. And that's a hybrid. So when I look at other places, I think that, and I know Walmart are they're investing quite a bit of money. They're on the comeback. And, I think that in the next 12 months, I wouldn't say 12 months, I'd say more like 18, because I think the pandemic, things are a bit irregular. I think things need to streamline a bit more. I think that the world is upside down, as you know, at the moment still. And there's still all these issues with freight costs and shipping containers not turning up and empty shipping containers. And people fighting over containers. So there's all these problems in the background that are not allowing sellers to push forwards. Until that gets sort of regulated, I think that you could be looking I've anticipated maybe 2 years personally, but in 2 years' time, I think you'll be looking at a completely different marketplace. I think that, not marketplace, a completely different outlook on e-com in general. But I think it's good. I think it's gonna push innovation. I think it's not going to be boring. I think change is good sometimes. I don't think Amazon are going to, die of death. There's always going to be traffic there, but I think people need to really think carefully about how they are going to diversify in what channels and what SM platforms and what marketplaces personally. So really, I'm saying quickly, have a look and reassess in the next 12 months. That's it, really.
No, interesting. You're the first person I've interviewed to actually say that point about, we're in the midst of a pandemic, let it stabilize and kind of the changes will happen there. So yeah, very, very interesting perspective. Now look, in the interest of time, I think we'll just wrap it up there, because you've already kind of explained how, you've already kind of given us enough praise as it is. So thank you, Matt. And yeah, really appreciate having you on, and I'll be keen to hear
No,
more
I
when
I
you're ready.
appreciate it. I know it's the end of your day over there in Australia, so I know I'm just waking up. So it's kind of like we've done our best. I just want to give a shout out for you, though. You know, it's amazing what them guys do at Merchant Springs. You know, if you can have a look at what they do, and I think you'll find that with any multi-channel business, that it's an amazing thing that they've built where you can literally, you know, easily see data in pie charts, different things, item specifics in eBay. So yeah, it's great what you've done, mate. Really appreciate you taking this time to have this chat with me today. So thank you.
Thanks, Matt. All good. Cool.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, James.